Welcome back, Truth Seeker. If you caught today's live stream, you already have this information. But if not, I want to make sure everyone sees this. On May 20th, the World Health Organization finished their pandemic agreement. And Bill Gates put out a little memo about this back when they began drafting this, which was at the same time the Russia-Ukraine war began. And we covered it back then. I just brought this up about a week or so ago that they've been working on this. And I just found out today that they actually finished it on May 20th. So this thing they've been drafting up has been finished. And I read the language from it in the live stream at the end of today's live stream, dated May 28th. It's the one that says Hollywood owes me royalties. Of course, in that live stream, we ventured off into some other topics. But if you want to hear all the language in this thing, I did read it. I'm not going to do it again in this video. It matters, though, that they finish this on May 20th because it backs up the point I've been making over and over since 2020, that the Jesuits are running the show. This pandemic agreement is about how to mass vax the world in the next pandemic to get the shots out. And look at what day they finished the agreement, you guys. What is May 20th? It is the day in history to remember the shooting of Ignatius of Loyola, the day he got shot, the day he got shot with a cannonball. And back in his time, a cannonball was getting shot from a musket, not, like a massive ball that comes out of a cannon like you're probably thinking of. But the Jesuits call May 20th Cannonball Day. Remember, Billy Cannon died on that day in history. You had the cannon building alarm go off the other year on Cannonball Day. You had Judge Eileen Cannon who wanted Trump in court on May 20th, et cetera, et cetera. There's always jokes on Cannonball Day. And here's this one. Cannonball Day is only important to the Jesuit order. And remember, the pandemic was simulated with Event 201 by the World Economic Forum, also in Switzerland, like the World Health Organization. And at the time, it was led by its founder, Klaus Schwab, who's Jesuit educated. And that simulation, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation were co-sponsors. And Melinda Gates is from a family of Jesuit priests and has the same birthday as the Jesuit order, August 15th. But yeah, this is just so in your face. And what drives me nuts is pretty much the whole supposed truth community. They're all still stuck on the same thing, saying, the small hats run the world. It's the small hats. It's the small hats. It's the small hats. You think that would have faded out with the time of the pandemic since Israel got the worst of it. Nobody had to take more pokey-dokes than them. And there weren't really any small hats who were the face of the pandemic, whereas everybody was a Jesuit, from Klaus Schwab to Anthony Fauci to Donald Trump to Gavin Newsom to Andrew Cuomo to Robert Redfield to et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Every face of the pandemic was a Jesuit-educated person. And remember, it all followed one number in pattern. Gavin Newsom made it really obvious when he said he was locking down California because 56% of the state would get the virus in 8 weeks. 8 weeks is 56 days. So effectively, he said 56% of California would get the virus in 56 days. Remember, the pandemic was declared in 2020, 56 years after 1964, which is when Donald Trump's Jesuit education began at Fordham. Cuomo, who became like the governor of America because he was on TV every day talking about it, along with his brother on CNN. But Andrew Cuomo went to Fordham, just like Trump, and he was the 56th governor of New York. The first two mayors that had to deal with Cooties 19 were Jenny Durkin in Seattle, the 56th mayor of Seattle, and Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, the 56th mayor of Chicago. And remember, the first celebrity with the virus was Tom Hanks, born in 56. And he was in Sleepless in Seattle, where his wife dies from illness in Chicago, causing them to move out to Seattle. There were so many 56s with the pandemic, and then you learn Gematria, and you just realize all the key words. Coronavirus equals 56, COVID vaccine 56, Regeneron 56, Anthony Fauci 56, Gavin Newsom 56, Toilet paper 56. Remember how COVID sold out the toilet paper because the whole thing was a load of shit? A million more too. There were so many 56s. It's just insane. And you know, the Wuhan lab where the rumors were, that was established by the French in 1956, and the Jesuits are from France, and Paris, France equals 56. And then 56 months after the pandemic was declared, the media said that it actually probably did come out of the same 56 Wuhan lab. And again, in 1956, Elvis got the polio vaccine on live TV on Bill Gates' first birthday and Jonas Salk's 42nd birthday, years before he died at 42. But Tom Hanks was doing the movie about Elvis. And now you got the actor who portrayed Elvis coming out with the new movie Eddington, which comes out 1,956 days after the pandemic was declared. And the trailer begins with talking about how in 1956, all that stuff that I just said happened. And it uses my exact quote in the trailer, which means the movie ripped off exactly what I said. You can even hear at the 20-second mark in the trailer, Gematria is the ancient practice of coding numbers into words. But coming back to this shooting and shots joke, also don't forget Sandy Hook, the school established in 1956, the shooting 56 letters in 2012, Adam Peter Lanza equals 56. The first person to get the COVID-19 jab was Sandy Lindsay, and she got it on the anniversary of Sandy Hook, which was also the day of the total solar eclipse in Argentina, the Pope's country, when Corona also has to do with the light that shows around a total solar eclipse, not to mention Pope equals 56, and the Jesuits served the Pope, and Society of Jesus, the formal title of the Jesuits, equals 56. Cannonball also equals 56. Cannonball 56. And now this, the pandemic agreement is essentially an agreement on how to mass vax the world. And it took them 38 months and days. Pandemic equals 38. Pandemic agreement equals Jesuit order. This was the 78th World Health Assembly, they called it. Jesuit equals 78. It's a reminder that the pandemic was declared 78 days after Anthony Fauci's birthday on March 11, 2020. He's got that Christmas Eve birthday. But yeah, all the same numbers in my book, Number Games. If you've never read my book, you can get it right from my website, GematriaEffect.News. You can get the ebook version. You can buy it on Amazon in paper form. But you can buy it in digital form right from my website, Number Games. You read this book, everything I'm talking about right now, Jesuits, 56, 78, it's all in there in great detail, plus a whole lot more. And understand, I put that book out in the middle of 2020, accurately forecasting why they would wind down the pandemic as soon as the year of the tiger came around, dead on prediction. If I did an updated version of that book, man, it would probably be 10,000 pages long with all the additional rituals they've done since. The book's nearly 400 pages, but yeah, a lot more has happened since then. Of course, I've been continuously updating about all these things through videos like this, which YouTube has continued to delete and censor from the internet, along with taking down entire channels. But we'll persist to expose the evil, because this evil needs to be exposed, you guys. Like I said, two neighbors of mine, one now dead and the other one close to their deathbed, and no doubt it's from the agenda. So a lot of people have suffered. Yeah, there's more that could be said, but I think that's enough for now. Thanks again to everyone who hits the like and the share. Thank you to everyone who supports the work. Congrats to the winners, to everybody who hit on the Thunder, making it to the Western Conference Finals. I kind of gave that one away for free to you guys, even if you're not on Patreon. I told you at the start of the season. Sonics won it in 79. This is the 79th NBA season. Go back and watch the video I did on Fernando Valenzuela's death in the Lakers opening game. And again, LeBron and Bronny James, first father-son duo since the Griffies in Seattle, who were in attendance as LeBron stayed on 79 losses with the Lakers to start the 79th season as they announced the death of Fernando Valenzuela, whose name equals 79, just like Cy Young, right before the Dodgers-Yankees World Series when he pitched in the last one between the same two teams. Again, you guys, scripted sports, scripted news, scripted scandemics. yeah, you learn this knowledge, you see through all of it. The real winners are everyone who didn't let this thing violate their body, give them all kinds of problems. Anyway, we'll leave it there for now, and until next time.